Coming up on City Spotlight, we continue the second half of Season 9, and we're back on location in Tuscola. We'll talk with Tuscola Mayor Daniel Kleiss, Brian Moody of the Tuscola Chamber and Economic Development, and Gary Alexander, Tuscola Schools Superintendent, about the latest economic development in Tuscola, future improvements to buildings in Tuscola, the latest facility work with Tuscola Schools, and the recent success of the Tuscola Boys Basketball team. We're talking Tuscola here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. Hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location for this latest episode here in Season 9, and we are back in a familiar spot, City Hall in Tuscola. Yes, we're talking Tuscola once again here on City Spotlight. And two gentlemen to my right that might look familiar to you guys at home. The Mayor of Tuscola, Daniel Kleiss. Daniel, great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you, Roman, again, and good morning.
Good morning, absolutely. And Brian Moody of the Tuscola Chamber and Economic Development and, among other things, Fire Chief here.
That's me. Thanks for being good to see you again.
Glad to have Daniel and Brian back on here on City Spotlight. They've been on a few times, and it's been a while since we chatted with you guys. Last time was September of 2020. We were in this room, a little bit more spread out, so it was pretty much the heart of COVID. So I want to kind of ask you, after 2.5 years since the last time we taped here, as we tape here on March 22nd, 2023, how did Tuscola navigate through COVID?
Well, I'd say it was pretty difficult, like most communities, and especially on those who were maybe some startup companies at the time. It was real difficult on them, and they were just starting to get established, and then some of them had to shut down, of course, some of your restaurants and those kind of things. But I think by and large as a community, we kind of banded together and were able to survive it. And I actually think we're probably stronger as a result of that. I know it's taken a little bit of time to get better and rebound financially for most of these businesses. Right. But I think we're on the right foot and moving in the right direction right now.
Brian, your overall thoughts on Tuscola getting through COVID?
Yeah, I think the mayor's right. We're started to see a nice recovery in traffic, and again, just so many individuals, organizations are working together throughout COVID. So many different unique challenges, things we hadn't dealt with, before or in recent memory, and just great to see individuals, businesses, organizations really come together, support each other. Initial days we were all ordering as much carryout food as we possibly could, and those kind of things. But just all the different ways we've looked to support each other, and now we're still working on some new grants coming down from the state that is still COVID recovery money. So hopefully we can do some things, inject a little more money into some of these businesses.
Great to have that comment from you guys, since we haven't taped in a while, and those comments mirror a lot of other communities that we've talked to through COVID here on City Spotlight. All right, let's talk about new things that have popped up in Tuscola since the last time we taped and or will be coming. Let's start with your grocery store. Has a new location and kind of a new name.
Yes, that's right. The Tuscola IGA moved over to the former Pomida store over right off of Prairie Street, right behind the Lambos and Jimmy John's there in Tuscola. And the name now is Kirby Foods. The sign has gone up. They were part of the Kirby family when they were on Route 36, but now they've kind of made the switch over on the name-wise to Kirby Foods. And it's really, it's kind of their first store looking like this. It's fantastic. Layout within the store, and I can tell you they got a real nice deli that I probably go to every other day for my lunches, and really a neat concept in there for that store.
Brian, I lived in Tuscola for a short while in my lifetime, and I'm familiar with that location, that building. How is it working out for what their operation?
It seems like it ended up being just a perfect fit. Gave them significant new space, and we keep kind of coming back to comments about for the employees. It's such a nice new workspace compared to what they had been in for a long time, and just an improvement overall in their operation. Really gave them a lot of additional storage, operational efficiency, just how they're able to manage the store. And they were able to increase items by a fairly significant amount, a few thousand new items, and so adding on to the selection. But I go to so many conferences of rural development, and grocery stores are a challenge for so many communities.
Right.
And so we're just really blessed to have had them as such a long-time business and to see them grow and make that kind of reinvestment. Very excited about it.
Love that comment about grocery stores in rural communities. It is a challenge for a lot of communities. All right, some other businesses that have, well, that one is an existing business that moved. You have a saloon that opened up last month, February, on Southline Road.
Yep, it's the store right there on the highway. Basically, I guess depending upon how you look at it, about the third stoplight or the second stoplight.
What direction are you going?
Right.
And they're a company that's a group that came from Mattoon area, and his family, the owner, Chad's family, had been in the saloon business, if you will, down in the Mattoon area, and so he's trying his hand at one here in town, and we sure welcome him, and hope he has a successful business as well.
Back in the downtown area, also opening up in February, you have a local artist, I guess that had been here, but opened up a photography studio.
Yeah. Rachel Ray, who's been a longtime photographer in the community and that a lot of us know, has worked with the Chamber on some, we do a business headshot program that Rachel coordinates, and has been looking for a space for some time, and was able to work out this arrangement with Flessers, Devin Story, who owns, and Bob that own the Candy Kitchen there. And it's really just turned out a perfect, beautiful space. Really looks like it's going to serve Rachel well. We had a ribbon cutting there this past week, and just real pleased, excited to see them happy, and glad to be in that space.
And one other thing in this general area, part of Tuscola, you have 217 Mortgage opened up in the Jarman Plaza at the latter part of last year.
Yeah. Starting to see the Jarman Plaza really come to life. We've had that renovation has been well underway, and so it was nice to see 217 took kind of a corner front office, real nice space. The renovation has really been impressive, really giving an update to that building, and so excited about that, and excited about some prospects who've been looking at that space.
Fantastic. All right, to kind of sum up economic development, what else could you talk about that's on the horizon?
Well, one of the things that's really pretty recent, and I probably get a question or two every week, is the mall development and what can you do there. And I can say that there is some movement on that. We do have I'll call a local development within a 25-mile radius of us, who currently has a contract to purchase that property, and we're excited about that. We're excited to work with them and try to get something going on that property. The mall kind of ran its course there. It's been very good to this community of Tuscola and Douglas County. But we're also excited to what may be the future out there, and probably some sort of mixed development, I would say, that you see. Retail, it was, as we all know, has changed quite a bit.
A lot.
Over the last few years. And so we're anxious to see which direction that goes within the next 6-7 months.
All right, fantastic. Brian, any other thoughts on where Tuscola might be looking here? We're early part of 2023.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've had a lot of prospects show up here in the past couple months. Really kind of started picking up, I'd say, over the winter, but a lot of good things looking around the area over the spring. So my office has been very busy, so that's a good thing. We're answering a lot of questions and connecting folks. So excited about that. Glad, like I said, we're we're kind of shaking off COVID and really starting to see an uptick of activity, and hopefully we'll have some new things roll out here this year.
Great thing about having a little time between tapings, things develop, so we look forward to following up on the economic development in Tuscola down the road. Brian, one of the many hats that you wear in Tuscola is you are the fire chief, and a little bit of action going on with your fire stations.
Yeah, so it's not often I get to work on a project that's going to touch me so much personally, but very similar to some other things we worked on, building a new building, looking at a new South Fire Station, and just very excited about that. We very much could use the updated space or the additional space, and our members are excited about it. We think it's not often that we build public buildings. We just don't have that kind of need. We're a small community, and so that's generated some good enthusiasm there. And like I said, we're now it's just the nervousness of hoping the bids come in at a good place. We hope we've kind of weathered a pretty difficult environment here the past couple of years, so we're seeing some prices come down, and hopefully we'll be in a good spot to build it.
Local paper here in Tuscola had some information on that, and I understand it will help with functionality of maybe a modern firehouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just more functional space, meeting rooms, some of the technology that's changed as far as what we can teleconference in, and just the tools we have to be able to use and actually put something up on the wall as opposed to the old projectors and those kind of things. So.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with economic development. You don't normally think of the city structure with itself for economic development other than water and sewer lines. But as a result of the fire department upgrade, we're also hopeful that we're going to be remodeling our existing police department. So as everybody knows, in trying to recruit police officers today is extremely difficult. So we're hoping to make those environments even as nice or the same as what the fire department has, so you have the same recruitment tools that you can use for these pieces of property. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Yep. Fantastic to share that information. Also, kind of a movement going on, I mean, I guess pretty much everywhere, not just Central Illinois or Illinois. You have fiber optic internet has been coming into the community, and you're still working on that now. And that's not necessarily you guys, but it's an asset to the community.
It's a great thing to talk about, Ramin. Funny that for years I can take you back to old community surveys, old business surveys, going back probably 15 years. And one of the top things people say is broadband, broadband, broadband. Bring me that fiber. They want to see it. Well, we're getting that fiber, and we've been dealing with that for the past year. As you said, with my fire hat, we have utilities that conflict and interact with each other. We got to deal with that sometimes, but generally very pleased. Puts us on a playing field really globally to be able to connect every home in the community to broadband and have that fiber that gives kind of unlimited possibilities really to any property. So it's an exciting thing to think about.
I got one more thing to ask you before we wrap up, gentlemen. But Dan, I want to get the mayor comment on all these new things. You've been mayor of Tuscola now 35 years, and you hear about these things: the grocery store moving, fire station improvements, library, very important structures and things in the community moving forward. Yeah,
very much so, and it's probably the thing that keeps me going in being mayor is I like to see these changes, these kind of constructive changes within our community that will be good things for our community and make people want to not only move here, but the people to stay here. Right. As Brian alluded to earlier, just on grocery stores in small towns, it's difficult for them, right. and we're extremely excited about the confidence that Kirby Foods put in the city of Tuscola. And that's something that we can sell and promote as well. Mm-hmm. Our schools, our grocery stores, our medical facilities, those kind of things. And I see all of those building. We're currently working with Carl Clinic on a new development for them. And those are things that will make people want to stay and come to your community.
Those services, correct. In our last minute or two, we're going to talk about this probably quite a bit in our next segment, but Dan is sporting a City of Tuscola, the Tuscola colors. Proud boys basketball team had a nice run there. Yep. They finished up their season early part of March. I was there for the semifinal game, and they ended up winning and getting third place in their class. But talk about the excitement for the community to have something like that where you guys can all get together and maybe not just win a trophy, but just the excitement of the community supporting one another.
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, you can everywhere you go around town during those last couple of weeks, you saw black and gold everywhere, and people really enthused about it. Which is probably amazing is that outside of the team, I think the rest of the community thought, my gosh, where did this come from? And isn't this great? Isn't this great? And a great group of guys, kids, coaches that really came together and played, and it showed their teamwork shows what a community can do with teamwork as well. So they had a great run, great finish. Exciting to go back to the to the State Farm Center, which. We were there in 1989. I made the comment I was mayor in 1989 when we were there the last time.
There you go. You got to see two runs. And the basketball side, you've had a lot of success football-wise.
Yes, exactly.
Brian, anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, no, the mayor really just hit it. I think they're just a great analogy for the community. I joked when I was in high school, we were kind of a basketball school. Once I graduated, then they turned into this football, pariah, and then now they're kind of trying to do both. Decide, hey, here's a goal. This is what we want to accomplish. We want to get there. May not look exactly like we think it is once we make that effort, but
right.
we can put in the effort. We can take some steps, so we can get there. And they show that to us time and time again when they make these runs at state championships. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Great.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to have more on the Tuscola Boys Basketball team in our next segment, but that'll do it for this segment with Daniel Kleiss and Brian Moody of the City of Tuscola. Gentlemen, it's great to tape with you again here on City Spotlight.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll change locations and we'll tape at Tuscola High School with Superintendent of Tuscola Schools, Gary Alexander. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Tuscola. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this new on-location episode here on Tuscola. As promised, we've changed locations. We're going to talk Tuscola Schools, and we're taping here at Tuscola High School. And we welcome back to the program a familiar guest, the Superintendent of Tuscola Schools, Gary Alexander. Gary, great to see you again.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Great to be taping with Gary once again. We last taped with Gary fall of 2020. You came over to City Hall, so great to be back in the school setting with you. And joining us on the table, making, I guess, another annual tradition for City Spotlight, a local area team brings back some hardware from the state basketball tournament. As we mentioned in our previous segment with Daniel Kleiss and Brian Moody, Tuscola Boys Basketball team, third place in Class 1A. Gary, I saw you there at the State Farm Center in Champaign. I filmed the semifinal game. Result may have not been there for that game, but you got a third place trophy. Great turnout by the community, and wow, what a scene. It was a lot of black and gold.
Yeah, we were very excited about the community support. You looked around the State Farm Center, and you could just see black and gold everywhere in about every section. And we were very proud of our boys, and the community showed up to support them very well. So we thank them. And the community, they show up to support our athletics very well in Tuscola. So I wasn't surprised.
So you play 2 games in one day there in Champaign. You come back with some hardware. We, I guess, general folks in the area know that Tuscola does pretty well at athletics, and you come back home with a trophy for the boys basketball program. Talk about that as an achievement for them. I know people know Tuscola for maybe success in football, but it has been a while since basketball has gotten to that point.
It has been a while, 1989. That was the last year. As a matter of fact, I was on that team, so it's
wow.
I'm a little old now, so it's been a while. And
but you've seen both ends.
I have, and I was able to actually get a medal put around my neck this year, which I thanked our boys for, and for them doing that. But it's just a great accomplishment for not only the school district, but the community itself, and very proud of everything that's gone around Tuscola High School with athletics this year. We had a cross country year we've never had in boys who made it state. Our football team made it back to the Elite Eight.
Right.
Girls basketball probably would have won a sectional if we would have made some free throws. And then obviously our boys placing third in state has been great. And we just found out our science Olympiad is going to state. So it's just been a lot of accomplishment, a lot of hard work by our students and our teachers and our coaches.
Success in all levels
Yes.
of competition. Very good. Obviously, I'm talking to you about schools, and athletics is an avenue for your student athletes to participate in. With all this success that you're talking about, culminating in this this achievement here by the boys basketball team, what's it like coming into this building and just, you know, I mean, is the morale, is the spirit, is it at an all-time high when you have all these teams doing so well?
Our kids celebrate success, and you know. They celebrate it and by being kids, number one. But
Right.
you know, when we get to a game like a sectional championship or you know, state and Final Four,
Those are hard to get to.
Yeah, they're hard to get to, but our kids understand that, and they really you can tell the hype in the school is at a higher level during that time, and you know, I tell you what I really noticed, it was our sectional game for our girls.
Mm-hmm.
We had more students and more community members travel down the KZ than I had seen be in a game in a while. So that's when I really noticed, hey, once it gets to this level, boy, people really understand and want to support us.
They want to be there at the big game.
They do.
All right, very good. So congratulations, success of athletics here at Tuscola High School for not only the schools, but the community. All right, let's talk about your buildings, Gary, because you have a lot going on and will be going on. Let's start here at the building that we're taping at, Tuscola High School, and let's stay with the athletics. And
Sure.
you've had some work done to the gym and future work to the gym.
Yeah, so we, you know, we are in the process of, well, we have new lighting in the gym.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the name of it, but basically it's rhythm to, you know, we play music and our lights will flash to the music.
That's pretty fancy.
Yeah, it is. And the best part of that is our Omni Energy partners, who are our project managers for our construction projects, put that in for us for free.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason they did that is they were wanting to we're kind of like the template for them. They can bring other people they work with to see the capability of the lights. So that's been nice. The gymnasium also, we had community support. We had donations for scoreboards.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be putting new scoreboards in the gym, a video board on one end.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be really a nice upgrade, and also a nice large video board scoreboard out at the football field.
Okay, so we're going to shift outside here, and so some additions to the football field area.
So the scoreboard out there is being, you know, financed through donations through, you know, people in the community and people outside the community.
Right.
We're also taking and getting new home bleachers. They will be larger, a new press box.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. But it was time. That press box and the bleachers, they're older, and it was needed to be done. The other thing that probably is important out there is lighting. The new lighting. They're not very efficient lights right now out there. So we're going to more efficient lights. You know, we're going to go from basically 6 poles. You know, and we're going to be down to basically 4 poles.
Okay.
And have better lighting.
Wow.
So yeah, we're doing some renovations out there to make that athletic field outside better. You know, with the scoreboard, it won't only affect athletics. We can do community movie nights.
Correct. Yeah.
We can do graduation probably on the football field because now we have a larger screen to show it on.
That's true. People like to see themselves on the screen.
That's right. That's right. So you know, there's a lot of different opportunities from the scoreboard than just, you know, football and track.
Become another multi-purpose venue.
Yes, it will.
Very good. It will. All right, let's move back inside Tuscola High School. You have some air conditioning work, some work to classrooms, cafeteria. You got a whole lot going on here in this building.
Yeah, so we just finished up the wing we're in right now. We just finished that up and added, you know, upgraded our science rooms, upgraded our FCCLA room, our counseling room, and we added this conference room.
And this room we're taping in is relatively brand new?
It is. It is brand new. The high school never had a conference room, so we needed one, and with renovations.
I'm glad to be using it.
I am too.
Fantastic.
So, you know, and we're moving forward with, you know, East Prairie and the high school do not have air conditioning.
Wow.
So that affects us when, you know, early fall and late spring with heat.
Yes.
But so this summer we will be putting air conditioning in. And if you've ever been in our gym, it's probably one of the hottest gyms in the area. That'll be getting air conditioning as well.
All right, very good.
Then we'll be upgrading all of the classrooms.
Okay.
So, this building was built in late 50s, and really nothing has been updated inside since then. So we're going to, kind of modernize our classrooms for learning for children today.
And I wrote on here, I don't want to leave out North Ward, but you told me the elementary school is in good shape and no pending work.
Right. The elementary school is our newest building, built in 2000, 2001.
Correct.
So it's our newest building. It's got a few things that it needs done, but the thing that needed done the most, and we addressed that, was putting a fence around the playground and some fencing around the property. So we've kind of addressed a little bit of things there.
Kind of want to get a summary of what we just talked about, kind of like with the projects going on at the city level, asking Mayor Kleiss, what does this all mean in the grand scheme of things? Building work, facility work is always an important thing that any superintendent at any district, regardless of size, has to monitor. You got a lot going on. It's got to make you feel good about all these projects building for the future.
Yeah, it does. I think that was when the school board's goal was to look for the future. How can we make sure that we're attractive to people who want to move into Central Illinois? And one of everybody, like you said earlier, knows our athletic success, but people don't talk about our academic success. And I think that I hold my hat high on that. I think we have very good students and very good teachers, and we just need to upgrade our facilities a little bit to match that success that we have in the classroom. And I think moving forward with the renovations we're doing, not only with the education we give, but the education we can give now that we have a better equipment in the building and better facilities.
Fantastic. I typically ask educators, superintendents off the bat about how the school year is going, but since we had this recent success, we kind of flip things around.
Sure.
Kind of want to end the interview with you, Gary. Last time I taped with you, obviously, was start of the pandemic.
Yes.
Learning conditions were a lot different. How has this school year gone?
Normal.
Okay. I let you say it. I usually get it out before the educator does, but
normal.
Okay.
It's been normal. We've had some adjustments. I mean, we've had some adjustments just because kids weren't normal. Things weren't normal, but our adjustments have been minor. Today, what is it? March 22nd.
Yes,
we're normal.
Refreshing words to hear.
It is.
After all these interviews, talking with educators such as yourself, went through some trying times. It's refreshing to hear that answer come out of your mouth.
Yes,
very
yes,
good.
It is.
Well, congratulations again on the athletic success and all the projects that you're working on. We look forward to seeing those and follow up on those items down the road. Gary Alexander, Superintendent of Tuscola Schools. Great to have you on the program again.
Great to be on the program, and come back and see what we've done.
All right, very good. We've been taping on location in Tuscola here on City Spotlight. Thanks for watching.
City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.